And good afternoon, and welcome again, everyone, to the White Chocolate Podcast number 26, I think, 26. Entering our, Will?
Sorry.
Exercise. We're brain dead, folks.
Yeah, we
got
are.
a little back to school night tonight, so
BTSN.
trying to sneak this recording in before we
Yes, we
are bombarded with our lovely children's and their parents.
Yep.
And so we're going to try to knock this out. We're going to knock this out. We're going to pump you up. Okay, so let me not skedaddle. Let me not banter on and on. Let me not dawdle. Let us take this opportunity to begin. I'm silly tired. That's it. It's just brain fry.
Yeah.
First couple weeks, you know how it is in my classes. It's 190 kids.
Mr. K, Mr. K, I wanted, Mr. K?
Yeah, it's the equipment more than any other class. It's not like, okay, everything's on your Chromebooks.
Right.
My clarinet's not working. I need a reed. Can I borrow a trumpet? Can I borrow this? Do you have a book? Where do I get a trumpet? What if my parents can't afford? And all of that is just part of the job, and I love helping.
Valid question.
But it is 1 million things.
I've seen it
in the beginning. It's just so anyway. But not complaining, just brain tired.
Yep.
Well, we got 4 segments today: segment 1, segment 2, segment 3, and the last one. And we're going to start with something new. We were going to call this product review, but instead we're going to call it. Oh, I'm Dirk, by the way.
I'm still Will, by the way.
This is product review, but I changed the name because we're not going to review a product today.
You just get to change the name whenever you want to, I guess.
I'm changing it.
All right.
From now on, we're the Apple Dumpling Podcast.
Okay. Apple.
We taste good.
I wouldn't mind that.
You mentioned a movie to me the other day.
I did.
And I had not heard of said movie. Yeah. And you said, I'm going to watch this tonight. And I said, you know what? It sounds interesting. I'll watch it too.
Yeah.
And then we decided, why not discuss our thoughts on the podcast as a movie review?
Yep.
Since we both love movies.
I do.
And this is a movie that's out now on many different platforms for about $6. Yep. I think I paid Amazon $5.99 to watch it. Still much cheaper than going to the movies.
Absolutely.
So, and the movie is also the title of this week's episode, I've decided.
Okay.
Sisu. Or Sisu.
We're going to need that to get through the year.
It was Sisu, wasn't it?
It was.
Sisu. Let me, if you don't mind, I have a couple of the rundown.
You hit them with it.
And then so Sisu was released April of 2023. Rated R. Bing was a text from my wife who has the best timing. Rated R, 90 minutes, and filmed in Finland. Okay. Which is amazing.
The visuals were great.
They are beautiful. The stars are nobody that I knew.
Nobody that I knew as well.
Yeah. Jack Doolan, Axel Henny, a lot of not period actors, but I guess people that are from the places that they represent.
Gotcha. Yep.
Like authentic. Rated R for strong violence, bloody language, and gore.
They were spot on with that.
And the minute I was in about 30 minutes, I just sent you a text that said,
FYI,
gore.
I knew from the
previews.
From the preview.
Correct. So if you're not a blood and guts, it's not vulgarly gross like when you watch certain horror movies that I've heard are it's gross to the point of being gross. It's not that. It's just almost, I don't want to say, well, this will come later, but lots of the deadlies of war.
Sure.
Okay. Genres under action. War. Original language of it was Finnish. And the director, sorry, my nose is itchy today, Jalmari Helander was the director and the writer of the movie.
Gotcha.
Which didn't mean anything to me.
No.
Release date was April 28th, and it was a wide release this year. Also, box office, it only grossed $7.3 million.
Didn't think it was going to do that well in the box office.
You didn't? Or okay, so you saw the preview before it was released?
Yeah.
Okay.
Saw it a while ago.
So you've been waiting to watch it?
I have.
Okay.
I have.
It says it cost $6 million to make it, so based on box office, it was at least profitable, but certainly not a landslide.
Not a what do they call it these days? A banger?
Blockbuster? A banger, yeah.
A banger.
Banger.
Not a banger.
Bangers and MASH. If you go to England, I think it's England. Susan Austin, Bangers and MASH. That's like hot dogs and mashed potatoes, I think, in England. But anyway, it's addition.
Okay.
Food. It's always food.
Yeah.
Lionsgate Film is the distributor. So, and here is the summary that they give on many of the streaming platforms. It says, during the last desperate days of World War II, a solitary prospector crosses paths with Nazis on a scorched earth retreat in northern Finland. When the Nazis steal his gold, they quickly discover they have just tangled with no ordinary miner. While there is no direct translation for the Finnish word Sisu, S-I-S-U is the way that's spelled, this legendary ex-commando will embody what Sisu means, a white-knuckled form of courage and unimaginable determination in the face of overwhelming odds. And no matter what the Nazis throw at him, the one-man death squad will go to outrageous lengths to get his gold back, even if it means killing every last Nazi in his path.
I was hooked.
Yes.
Right away.
So, and what you told me was Rotten Tomatoes score, 94% with the critics.
Yeah.
94%. And I looked it up, 88 with the audience.
Yep. Very high.
So, pleased to be giving me your impressions of the movie.
So, just full disclosure, I went into it not expecting an Oscar-worthy performance. I went into it expecting fun and entertaining. Like an Expendables. You remember the Expendables movies that came out? Just not real, not incredibly realistic.
Okay.
But incredibly entertaining.
Okay.
And so knowing that I wasn't expecting super high quality acting, which the acting was fine. There was nothing wrong with the acting.
Agree. Yeah.
Knowing that I was not expecting high quality acting, I had a great time for 90 minutes.
So that was my first, maybe I shouldn't say first, one of my few dial to the left moments was realizing, I guess I didn't know that it was going to be over the top.
Okay.
I mean, yes, in some of the previews show, but there was also perfectly like normal scenes in the previews that didn't, you know what I'm saying?
I'm just talking about the battles, like the scenes where he's...
Correct. You saw a couple things where you're like, okay, that's pretty extreme.
Yeah.
And then, so one of the things that I loved about the movie, well, let's go topic. Since our first movie review,
Are we doing spoilers or non-spoilers in our review?
I'm going to try not to do a spoiler.
I'm going to try not to as well.
Correct. But on the topic you just mentioned, as far as acting and being over the top, to me, we've talked about this before. I sometimes have trouble with forgiving over the top.
I understand. I know
suspending disbelief.
Yeah.
Certain movies I go, now, had I known completely that the movie was going to be like that going into it, maybe I would have been a little bit more...
Which is why you are okay with some Marvel stuff, because you know going in...
Correct. It's not even realistic. Right. This movie was realistic except for... I mean, the plot was realistic.
Yeah.
The idea was real.
Yeah.
I mean, this was a real story.
Yeah.
The plot was realistic. Everything seemed to be pretty realistic except for... It was sort of a Rambo on steroids.
That's exactly how I was going to describe it, was Rambo, Taken, and Expendables all wrapped up into one.
Because you go, but in Rambo you go, maybe a special forces guy could do, or First Blood, not the Rambo, but the very first one. Yeah, maybe a guy could rig some of the, but how did he get from there to there and not make any noise in the woods? And how did he, so you have to suspend a little bit of disbelief.
Yeah.
Which sometimes is hard for me, but you've also caught me on that, where you'll make a point and you'll go, oh, you're worried about the fact that he couldn't get from there to there without making any noise, but you're perfectly fine with the fact that he got shot 7 times and still walks, I'm not talking about this movie specifically, but so you're right. I have selective forgiveness of reality.
Yeah.
But it wasn't a minus enough that maybe not enjoy the movie. It was just one of those things where I go, every once in a while you go, okay, all right. Yeah.
There was one where I had, or 2 moments where I was like, even though I knew that, it was unrealistic, a lot of the stuff, there was still those 2 moments where I was just like, well, I don't really know how that's working. But
and without giving spoilers, was one of them in the river or the lake? With his ability to stay under? I mean, you understand the concept, but it's like...
So here was my first initial thought was, never seen that in a movie. That's incredibly creative.
It is.
Never thought about that.
It is. I don't think I've ever seen that either.
While that wasn't one of the times that I was talking about.
Right. Okay.
I do know what you're. I do know what you're saying.
That was one.
But my first reaction was, that's interesting.
Yeah, it's a great concept.
Yeah.
It makes me wonder if
would it work.
I wouldn't think it would.
Mythbusters right now.
Right. I wouldn't think it would.
Take them under.
It's similar to when you see someone, and without giving anything away, this is not what's in the movie. Similar to when you see someone, let's say, if they're underwater and they have a scuba mask, and they take a scuba mask and get a breath of air, but then breathe it into the other person. It's like, okay, you can sort of see that because there's no leakage, but the way he did things, there would have been some leakage and some interference in his process. The other one that maybe stands out to you is the one where the one gentleman is on the tank and he's moving away from him up the hill. And I'm thinking, from my knowledge of ballistics, no, that's not going to work.
Agreed.
But again, for action,
sure,
tremendous action. Yeah. One of the reviews I read said, outrageously entertaining.
That perfectly sums it up.
I think it. Well,
Perfectly
then we can stop talking here.
End it.
One of the things that I said, and again, I'm not going to, that you definitely have to suspend disbelief. I'm just looking at my notes here.
That's what I was doing.
The other one was perhaps when he was at the gas station scene, when the plane lands. That's another one where you go, I don't think that could happen.
No.
Yeah.
But, okay, go ahead.
You want it to happen.
Well, and yes, and everything that happened, even though fake or not, or realistic or not, I was tense the entire time.
And if you remember, I think the text, because I started the movie before you did that night.
You did.
And the text I sent you was, I'd have to look it up, but it was something along the lines of, you won't relax.
No, can't breathe for a minute.
I'm looking at now. I think I just sent you one that said,
I'm pretty sure that's what it is said.
Practice.
What it is
8:15 practice. Oh no, that was yours. I wrote just finished extremely entertaining, but before that I wrote
sometime today would be great.
Yes, well that's why I'm looking. We text a lot.
Well, I just told you what it said.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry. Well then I won't do that. But anyway, yes, tremendous. Oh, you know what I was doing? I was reading your text. That's not going to tell me anything. I'm sorry. Yes, I am 50 years old.
Here's my other thing.
Yes,
and
please
I can
be
talk
continuing
about movies forever, and I won't. But
I think you should.
No. For the limited amount of actual words spoken for the first part of the movie, I was hooked by the visuals and his surroundings, and that first initial scene with the first group of Nazis
when he's on the horse.
Yes.
Yeah.
But
immediately
but there was not a lot of dialogue.
Hardly any.
And I was like,
yes,
eyes locked.
I never looked at my watch, as they say.
Yeah.
Never looked at my watch to see what time it was.
That was the great part about 90 minutes. It felt even faster than that.
It did. I feel like the movie could have been longer and told more of a story.
Yeah, for sure.
And I wouldn't have minded.
But I wonder if it was, since it was so, like they said, outrageously entertaining, they wanted to just hit you with it and be done.
Yeah, and be done.
Yep.
Fair enough. And by the way, my comment was just suspenseful. Because it was tense the whole time.
Yeah, it was.
There was never a time where he was not, other than the first few minutes of the movie, there was never a time where he was not in danger.
Or struggling in some form.
Right.
Yep.
So that was very interesting. The look of the movie, this is one where I'm putting high marks. It was gray.
Yeah.
It was great cinematography.
Yep.
Great camera work.
Yeah.
But it was gray.
Yep.
It was as drab as the theme of the movie.
Yep.
You know?
They did a good job.
I thought that was good. The characters, the close-ups, the lines in their faces. Yeah. They picked people that looked
the part,
that had character.
They picked people that looked the part.
Yeah, I thought that was good. At the end, the one comment I said to my wife, and for those people that are movie lovers, I think this will be a great way to summarize it. Like we said about Rambo, I wouldn't have been surprised to see Stanley or Quentin Tarantino's name come up.
We talked about that several times during the movie.
It looked like it was like Reservoir Dogs meets what's the one with the where the women dusk till dawn meets, like it was just ooh sometimes unpleasant.
We said it multiple times. Yeah, it could have been a Quentin movie.
It really looked like a Quentin Tarantino, which I think is a compliment.
I have that as one of my notes.
Well, I have it as one of mine too.
Well, you win because you had it first.
Well, I said it first, but that doesn't mean I wrote it. How many notes do you have and which one what? No, I'm just kidding. I wrote I loved it for the action sequence and grittiness, which we talked about. The CGI stuff was definitely over the top,
Yeah.
but the storyline was good. I wrote seemed like the plot of the movie was rather short. I actually almost wished for it to be longer.
Agreed.
It only covers, I mean, I don't think this is a spoiler, but it only covers maybe half a day in the life.
Like a day.
Or
yeah.
maybe a day.
I think it was a day. Yeah.
It was a day. So it doesn't cover a long story of this
No.
guy. It doesn't give you his backstory, which might have been a few more flashbacks, might have been cool just
Yep.
to see him as a soldier.
Agreed.
Not to give that away. You learned that in the
Yeah.
beginning, or in the previews. Actually, I probably read it. Overall, out of 10, or any other comments before we give it our numbers?
Last two or three that I had was I love the way it was told in chapters. I thought that was cool.
So that's interesting. I was going to ask you whether you thought, I forgot to get to that, whether you thought that added, detracted, or like how did that add to the, like, I'm not challenging you. I'm trying to think if it affected me.
I don't think it, I think I just like that it was broken up into different parts.
Okay.
And it kind of just helped put it in order, I guess.
Okay.
And I like the way that each chapter kind of got, the words kind of got broken apart more. And, well, I don't want to give it away.
Right.
But I just thought that was cool.
Oh, the words of the chapter.
The words
name?
of the chapter.
I didn't notice
Yeah.
that. You're very, I'll go back and watch it
But
again.
I don't want to tell everybody.
Right, I understand.
And then I said, where are we at here?
The chapters, yeah.
I said the movie could have been called Man Too Angry to Die. Just because, I mean, and then...
Well, but the beautiful part about the movie was he never seemed to get angry. It was almost just matter of fact.
Well, I think I meant angry in the sense
Yeah.
of...
Get off my lawn?
He just was
Cranky,
not, he would not let it go.
No.
And
he could have.
Last thing I had on here was, I know it was just a movie, and it was not the most realistic, but I just know there are people in the world so much tougher than I am. Like, just, I won't say the word on here because we keep it family friendly, but just
Like bad A?
yeah,
Yeah.
just tough sons of guns.
So we've talked about this a lot, and we could go down a whole
No, we're not
serious
going to.
road on this, which I don't think we should, but the world is softer. We're all softer than it used to be.
Dirk. I'm softer.
That's true. But we look at just our dads and their dads and the things that people had to do.
Mm-hmm.
The world has gotten much softer in a lot of ways.
Much easier.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which means that, you touch most men's hands now and they're soft. They don't have calluses.
Yeah, they are.
Okay.
Sorry.
All right.
I'm done.
But you get the point.
I do know what you mean.
And so, where it's tougher mentally, most of us don't work physically nearly as hard as 2 generations ago or 3 generations. So he represents sort of that old school.
Yeah.
Can do whatever. I mean, not giving any big things away, but where he gets injured like the Rambo and he's sewing himself up. And, it's like, okay, I feel like I'd pass out from the pain.
Yeah.
Maybe I wouldn't, but who knows? So overall, what would you give it?
I went 8.
Okay. I went 7.
Okay. Why? 8 for me.
Okay.
Because down a couple notches for, even though I knew unrealistic, there were still parts that I were like, come on, man. Like,
Okay. Yeah.
So I think that was a dial to the left for me, but I thought it was a lot of fun for a full 90 minutes. And
the only 2 I'm sorry, go ahead.
no, that's why I was just, and that brought it back up for me.
The only 2 minuses were what you just said. Sometimes it was a little like, okay, come on. And the only other minus literally was I wanted more. Like I wanted more story.
True.
A longer story. I wanted to see the guy, like I wanted to see what happened the next day or at the end, not again, no spoiler. But at the end, I want to know what happens next.
Sure.
Like what does he do from there?
Yep.
Yep. So and it wasn't, don't get me wrong, audience, it wasn't one of those the screen fades to black and you have no clue what happens.
Yeah.
But I mean you'd get a conclusion.
You want more,
but I want more from
story.
him. He's an interesting character. So I don't know if there'd ever be a sequel or doubt it, but it didn't make a blockbuster. But anyway, good movie.
Hopefully you guys check it out, and then you can comment and let us know.
Sisu, Sisu, available pretty much on every platform for a couple dollars. You can rent it.
Outrageously entertaining.
Outrageously suspenseful.
Segment 2.
90 minutes. 20 questions.
90 minutes.
Okay. Segment 2.
Oh boy, here we go.
Okay, segment 2 we're doing is 20 questions, Will. I have 3, but we can only do 1. So pick your best one.
I have 3, but I can only do 1.
Okay. Shall you go first or will I?
Dang it. Shall we?
We? I wasn't an option.
I know.
All right. You want me to pick? You want me to ask questions first?
Sure.
Okay. All right. Will you pick your greatest?
I'm not going to pick the greatest. I'm just going to pick the first one.
Okay. Pick the first one.
Okay.
All right. What is it?
Oh.
Okay. All right. I'll keep track of my questions over here on this handy dandy
Notebook.
Post-it note.
Blue's Clues.
Will, is this an animal?
No.
No.
I wanted to do animals, but you told me I couldn't. So.
I didn't say you
You
couldn't.
told me I
I
couldn't.
just said I didn't want to narrow it. I didn't want the other
You did
person.
moose last time.
No, I said, and I didn't get it. So it would have been smart to pick moose again.
Should have been moose.
But I just didn't want to know what it was, what category it was before we started. I felt like that narrowed it down too much. It made it easier.
Whatever.
And you don't like cheating.
Whatever.
All right. No animal. Is this a person?
It is not.
It is not. That pretty much means it's a place or thing. All right. Is this a place?
It is.
Okay. Could have been a thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry,
So
I wanted to say that without.
What?
I wanted to say it, but I can only give you yes or no.
Oh,
Like I wanted to
okay.
say it could have been.
Okay. So it's a place.
Yeah. How many questions is that?
That is 3. To your knowledge, have I been to this place?
To my knowledge, you have not been to
Okay.
this place.
Okay.
I hope I didn't mess you up there.
No, it's okay.
I don't think you have.
Okay. Can I drive to this place?
You can.
That's 5 questions.
I tried not to make it incredibly difficult.
That's fair.
Okay.
Would my drive be less than?
Oh, here we go.
Okay, so I'm not going to get too picky. Okay, let me rephrase the question. Would it be more convenient, time-wise, to fly to this place?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
But there is no doubt that you could drive there.
Okay, yeah, fair enough. That's
And
the
it
impression I
wouldn't
got.
be incredibly miserable.
Okay.
Trying to help you if I can.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Now, if I win, there's an asterisk next to it, but that's okay. All right, so it is a place.
Mm-hmm.
You think it's somewhere that I have not been. I can drive there, but it would be more convenient to fly there. Is it a place that person would typically want to go with their family?
Sure.
Drive. Is it within the continental United States?
It is.
Okay. That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 questions so far. Would it be categorized as on the East Coast?
No. Did you explain the game that we were playing?
This is 20 questions.
Well, no, I'm serious. I'm struggling. I'm having a brain issue right now. Did you explain?
I don't think I did.
Okay.
I just assumed. I said it was 20 questions.
Okay, no. That's fine. Everybody knows what it is.
Everyone, the game.
Oh my gosh. I just didn't know if you even
Will
introduced
thought
it.
of a place, and I'm trying to guess the place within 20 questions.
Oh my gosh.
This game goes back to the beginning of time. If you haven't heard of this, I want you to go out to
Next
your car,
question, please.
get your jack handle, and hit yourself over the head with it. Okay, here we go. Not in the East.
That was weird. I could not remember if you introduced the game or not. That's bad.
That's okay. It's first 2 weeks.
I know.
First 2 weeks.
I know.
Is teachers get there? Every teacher watching right now is going
Me.
here.
Yep.
Would you say it's on the West Coast?
I wouldn't say that.
Is it on the West Coast?
No.
Okay. All right. Is this a natural landmark, meaning something that God made?
I know what natural
Okay.
means. Thank
I'm
you.
sorry.
But
No, natural, not national. Sorry.
No, it is not a
No.
natural landmark.
That's 11 questions.
Okay.
Not natural. Is this a place you would go on vacation? Typically, people, it's a vacation destination.
I would not classify it as a vacation
Okay.
spot.
Okay.
I guess
Any place
technically,
can be.
I was going to say,
Right.
but
Yeah, no.
I would not think this
It's
is
sort
a
of like, oh, hey, we're going to
vacation.
Ocean City.
Right.
Right. Okay. Um,
Now, and once you figure it out, or once I tell you, you can tell me if that's fair or not. But I don't think it's a vacation destination.
Is it a? Do you need tickets to go to this place?
Yes.
Okay. Would you qualify it as an amusement park?
I wouldn't.
Well, I am definitely not amused, Will. That's 14 questions. I got to try to narrow it down.
Do you guys have any idea? I don't know if you know yet.
Whisper a little louder.
Give Dirk a hint.
Not an amusement park.
No, it's not.
Would this place be an iconic thing for that state, like something that state is known for?
Yes, this would be an iconic thing for that state.
Okay. I could drive there. It'd be more convenient to fly. I'm thinking that would rule out states that border where we are. It's going to be Midwest, maybe Midwesty. Not natural, not a vacation destination per se. You need tickets for it, most likely. It is not an amusement park. It is sort of a state icon or a city icon. That's a lot of great information. 14, 15, 5 more. Is this an primarily indoor thing to go to, or would you spend most of your time there indoors?
No. Good question. That was a good question.
Thank you. Hopefully it'll help. So it's an outdoor thing. Okay. Not natural, so not a natural park. Okay. Aha, I have an idea. Is this place trying to think, does it involve American history per se? Sorry if that's tough.
No.
Okay.
It does not involve American history.
Okay.
Can I?
Yes, I guess so. What I was getting at, if I can clarify, was like a Mount Rushmore. I thought I was on something with. So like where it's about presidents.
No, it does not involve American history.
Okay.
What are we at?
17.
By the way, you get 20 questions and then a final guess. I'm just letting you don't.
That's not what you did.
That is what I did.
Oh, I thought you used your 20th guess. Okay, 20 questions and a guess. So 3 more questions, 18, 19, and 20. Would you say this is tough to ask, and if it's not fair, just tell me you don't feel like you can answer it, and I'll pick a different question. Would you say it's northern rather than southern? Like if somebody asks you, is it?
You have to ask me a yes or no question. So form that.
That was. Would you say it's northern rather than southern?
Oh, rather than. I thought you said or southern.
Yeah.
Yes.
Northern.
Wait, that's what you said, right? Would you say
correct.
Northern rather?
Yes.
Yes.
So you would qualify it as northern,
yes, I would.
not southern. Okay.
Correct. Yes. I thought you said northern or southern.
So northern. Outdoors is throwing me off. I was thinking like Mall of America, the St. Louis Arch. Not American history related. Northern. Outdoors, a state icon. Not an amusement park though, so that rules out like Cedar Rapids or all those Ohio Sandusky or. It's not natural, so that rules out the Great Lakes. Not east, not west, northern, central. Not natural, which rules out parks like national parks, Grand Canyon, things like that. Wow, I'm really struggling. Does it have anything to do with music?
No.
Thought maybe I'd get lucky there. That's 19. One more. I am so clueless. I don't know why.
Because because it's the first 2 weeks of school.
Yeah, maybe.
It's after school.
I'm
and
bad at
brave.
this game. I feel like I don't
So
pick
am I.
good questions to narrow it down. Is it all right? I'm just going to ask this: is it a man? Is it a man-made structure?
Yes. That was 20.
That was 20.
Hit me with your guess.
I'll go with not a tourist destination, but something kind of. I'll go with the.
Back hurts.
I know this is not right, but I will go with the Mackinac Island Bridge. The big Mackinac Island.
It is. Can I tell you now?
I guess so, because I lost.
Okay.
Yeah.
It was Wrigley Field.
Ooh, good. I didn't. I should have asked if it had to do with sports.
Yeah, it was Wrigley. It's just
Tickets. Oh, you don't need
Tickets.
tickets for the Mackinac Island Bridge. Wrigley Field. Okay. In Detroit.
No, yeah, sure. You say so.
In Chicago.
In Chicago. I was really
That's a
wanting
good
you to.
one.
I wanted you to guess that, like, if you would have guessed the location, it would have narrowed it down.
Yeah, I
wanted
wasn't
you to-
sure how to do that
I
other than
know.
go state
It
by
was-
state.
That's what I felt like the first time we did, way back when we first started.
Yeah.
I felt like I was struggling to narrow down
Yeah.
where it was. Anyway, do you have
All
an
right.
index card?
Very good. Yes, I do. Or a post-it note or something.
Index card. Or a post-it note is fine.
It's right here in this box marked
Index cards.
index
That makes
cards.
sense. Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right. I'm setting
Isn't it magic how we hand Will and I aren't in the same room. I actually just handed that right through the
That's right.
camera to him. He's home.
I'm setting a 5-minute timer. I'm giving myself 5 minutes.
Did I take much longer than that?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I will take longer because I will think forever, and that's not.
I almost just messed myself up. I looked at one of the things on my list for my next one, and I was like, "Oh, he's never going to get that." Okay, Will, I am ready to go.
Timer set. Is it a person?
No,
Is it a place?
no,
Is it something that you have in your house?
I'll say not typically.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
I mean, you could, you might, but not typically. See how I did that?
Yeah.
Maybe a little hint.
Let's see. Is it an object you use on a daily basis?
No, definitely not.
That was.
And we go with the spirit of the question here. I mean, could you use it on a daily?
I know,
Sure,
yeah.
but not typically.
Yeah,
No.
I got you. Is this something that you owned or have ever owned?
Yes, I have owned it.
Have.
Have
You have it.
not. I have owned it,
You,
and I have ever owned it.
okay.
I'll even give you one more.
No,
I don't currently own one.
don't do it anymore.
Okay.
Is it something that I have that you know of?
I don't know.
Okay.
I suspect you could, but I don't know for sure. Given what I know about you,
Yeah.
it wouldn't surprise me if you had one,
Okay.
but I don't know for sure.
Okay.
Let me go one step.
No.
Just kidding.
Is this something that you use in your yard? Like for some, like, I don't know how to ask it, yard work or.
Can I say out? Can we say outside? Yard? Yes. Yes.
No, that don't. That was my question. Was would you use it in your yard? If it's a no, then
Yes. Yes.
it's a no.
Spirit of the question.
I'll put used outside.
I mean, you could use it in your yard, sure. I mean, if you're a freak. No, I'm kidding.
Shut up. Is this thing?
You didn't ask me if it was a thing.
Stop it. excuse me, is
Yep.
this
Okay.
something you use for sports?
Yes.
That wasn't very convincing.
Well, I would prefer to say recreational sports.
Well, that's sports.
Okay, well, if sports is recreation, then yes. I mean, if you're
Oh my
into that
gosh.
kind of
Just stop
thing.
it.
I mean, some people wouldn't, but
Is this thing
that you use in your yard,
outside?
sports recreationally.
Oh my God. Are you going to let me play or no?
I'm just trying to cheer you up. I know you're having a tough
I
day.
am.
Will's air conditioner in his office, no bueno. And it was about 96 degrees in there today, and he was struggling.
Is this something that that you would use with another person?
Yes, definitely. Yes. Oh, yes. Put in some eye bolts. Make sure they're in their heavy duty.
Does this come in a set?
Likely not. No. Say no. How many are you up to, out of curiosity?
That's 9.
9. Oh, okay. Felt like it was a lot more than that.
1, 2, 3, 4.
You get a lot of good information out of me.
8, 9. I didn't. Yeah, I have 7 things written down in the first 2 questions of person and place.
Yep.
Is this thing that's recreational?
Huh? That you use with someone else
That I use with
in your yard.
Okay, all right.
Okay, I'm sorry. Sorry.
Is this something? Does it have something to do with the sport of basketball?
No.
Okay. Is this thing larger than a basketball?
Yes.
That was 10. That's 11.
Let me say this: 95% of things that would be, there probably exist some that are smaller, but no. As a general rule, yes, they're larger than a basketball, unless you have a really big basketball.
Man.
While Will's thinking of his next question,
Yeah, go ahead. Let me talk for a second.
I just wanted to tell you that last night, my dog woke me up at 12:30.
Oh my God, this is terrible.
She had the sick poops, something she got into. So I decided it would be urgent to wake up. I literally grabbed my wife on the shoulder and tried to play the if I wake her up and she hears the dog bark, maybe she'll get up and I won't have to game. Nothing doing. Could not rouse her from her sleep. You have another one yet?
I was just letting you tell the story.
Well, I can finish after your next question if you're ready.
That'll
keep the audience listening.
Thank you. They won't.
It's called a tease.
They don't want to listen anyway.
Okay.
Trust me.
Okay.
Is this something that you or I would use in our yard with other people? That is
Sports and recreational.
Yeah, that is larger than. Trying to get the size down.
Mm-hmm.
Can I throw this?
Oh, most definitely. So I go out because my wife didn't wake up. We have a doggy gate at the end of our hallway, one of those metal baby gates that opens and closes.
Is it some sort of ball?
Yes. I forgot it was there in my half asleep stupor and plow right through the gate, bust it completely out of the wall.
Sorry.
Knock it down.
Go ahead.
Makes a loud clanging sound. Wakes up everybody in the house, you would think. But nope, everybody still sleeping.
Is it a beach ball?
It is.
Right.
I was worried yard would throw you off from pool.
Understood.
Because I didn't know if pool and yard would go together.
That was
That
was 12 questions and a guess.
Well,
no, 13 questions and a guess.
Yeah, so there you go. Will wins. I feel like that's
Not really like a winning
what
thing.
they expected.
That's
Good.
whatever.
Did you have it at beach ball? Honestly, question 13. People at home or 12 and a guess. Pretty good. Actually, dude, that was really good. You're very good at the same as when we play the movie game, which we haven't done on the podcast yet because you're embarrassed by it. But Will can do that with movies. I can generally pick a movie that was out before Will was even born, and he can come up with the movie within 20 questions. He's really knowledgeable. I feel like you're really good at taking the list and filtering it in your brain to eliminate, like you'd filter in Excel. Like check everything that's not this. I feel like you can really compartmentalize so well. So good job, man. 12 and a guess is strong.
13.
And 13 and a guess. I don't feel like beach ball is necessarily easy. It's kind of a peculiar thing, but good for you.
Thanks.
Good on you,
Good on
as
you.
they say. All right, well, our next one is guilty pleasures.
Okay.
This is segment 3.
Mm-hmm.
Guilty pleasures. Something I saw online that I thought would be funny to come up with and discuss.
Flip notes.
Some things that we like. I mean, typically I think guilty pleasures are things you like but are maybe a little embarrassed that you like. But it could also just be things that you really like that you're a little, like, yeah, I kind of wish I didn't like that.
Yeah. Okay.
For whatever reason. I have 3.
I tried to come up with a good amount.
So here's the thing, and I said this to Will when we talked about guilty pleasures. You don't like it when I compliment you, but I'm about to, so you might not want to listen.
I don't.
Earmuffs.
La, 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 la.
One thing that I admire about Will is that he is extremely comfortable in his own skin, or at least appears to be on the outside. So the idea of coming up with something you're embarrassed to admit you like, Will is very confident and doesn't get embarrassed much. Like you're embarrassed by praise. I know that.
I don't like this at all. I'm very uncomfortable right now.
Right, but you honestly don't have any real issues with, like, if you like something, you tell, I don't care what you think about it.
I don't.
So I realized afterwards this might be hard for you, but would you like to go with one first, or shall you?
Shall you?
Okay. So my first one is Judge Judy.
Okay. You and I have talked about that
I
before.
love Judge Judy.
Fair.
I'm sad that she's no longer on, I don't know, she's on some channel I think you have to pay for now, Fox Nation or something. I love Judge Judy. I know it's mostly fake. I know she's over the top judge, but it helped me to know that she was like that. Like, you can see video of her when she was really a family court judge, and she's not much different. Like, she was tough on the attorneys and didn't take any crap.
Yeah.
I love the personal responsibility that she preaches from the bench, and or adjudicates from the bench. But I watch. And when my dad was alive, Dad adjudicates, yeah, just like we do in Fortnite. Okay. I don't know. You started that. You let's go adjudicate them.
I don't know why.
My dad always says, "Oh, come on, you watch that." Right. And I'm like,
"Yeah,
I do. I like it. I like when she reams somebody out for being stupid. I love that. Yeah. It's kind of, maybe it's a fantasy for what I wish I could do with kids or kids' parents in our building when they're just, for example, today, just a quick side story. I wanted to yell at these kids for being idiots. And I know that makes me sound like a horrible teacher. I didn't yell at them. Yeah. So these kids today at school, they're coming in and they're wearing hoodies, long sleeves, hoods up, hats on, ski caps on.
Always. We've talked about this, though.
It's 100 and a million degrees out. And then they come over to this air conditioner outside my room. They come over to this thing around my room. Yeah. And they go, "Oh, Tommy, come over here. This one's working." Right. And they hold their shirts out like this, and they get all the cold air. I said, I wanted to go, why don't you take off your coats, hats, and hoodies? Yeah. I don't get, like, wear a T-shirt. So I love it when Judge Judy gets somebody like that, because she'll go like, "What are you, a moron?" Like, I want to say that, but I don't, because I'm not going to be rude to the kids. But it's just, so when people are doing things that don't make sense to me, it's very hard for me to hold my tongue. Sure. And Judge Judy never holds her tongue, so she's a guilty pleasure. Yeah, she's making millions. Yeah. I need that job. If only I were a judge.
One of mine that I tried to come up with was conspiracy theories.
Okay, that's a good one for you.
That's a good one for me, right? Like, I get hooked. I will go down rabbit holes for way longer than I probably should. And that's just one of the things that I get sucked into.
So you've even told me when you've espoused some of these things that you read or watch online, and then you go, I'm sorry, I know I must sound like an idiot.
Yeah.
So that's a great one because you are a little bit, it's not embarrassed so much as you sound
Yeah.
a little out there when you say
Correct,
those because
because it's
the
not the
theories
average
themselves are a little out there.
Sure. And I think the thing I like most about conspiracy theories is just the thought, like the actual thinking behind, like just being able to think through things.
You're a thinker.
I like that portion of it, and I think that's what draws me to certain, not all conspiracy theories by any means,
right?
But just ones that interest me, I guess.
Well, like the one you mentioned to me about Bigfoot being real.
I knew you were gonna. The way you always, when you're getting ready to lie, you always look off in the distance before you look back at me.
That's because I'm being creative.
I know.
Yeah, but some of your theories. So here's the thing, and this will compliment both of us, which is very self-serving. Sorry, folks. We both love to think.
Yeah.
We like the challenge, and we like to challenge our own thoughts.
Right.
So when you come up with something like, were the pyramids built by people, or were they built by
whatever
another being,
right.
some other? Yeah, how did they move those? How did they get those rocks? I mean, is it possible? Sure.
Yeah.
A lot of things are true, but not likely true,
right?
Even though they're really true, and so you just go,
it's just
could it be possible? And how did they face them the right direction? And how did they get them perfectly level?
Precision.
And how did they? Yeah.
No tools. Precision.
So we have a lot of things that we talk about, but that's a good one for you. I think you did well on yourself.
All right.
My number 2, Starbucks.
Okay. You didn't used to be Starbucks.
I detested the idea of paying $5 for a cup of
Shannon.
coffee. It is 1,000%. My wife loves Starbucks.
Yeah, so does
loves
mine.
the grande vanilla latte.
Ooh.
And after going for years and years and me fighting her tooth and nail of, do you realize 4 cups of coffee a week? That's $20. Back when $20 was a big deal in our family.
Yep.
And we used to get in arguments about how much she spent on Starbucks. And now, Saturday morning, I'm the guy that goes,
$40 a week now.
Yeah. Now, I don't go without her usually.
Right.
Unless I'm coming to your house to record. Then I stop because it's just a nice treat for myself. But on the weekends, almost every Saturday, we'll take a ride. And part of it's just spending time together. But she loves it. I like treating her to it. And now I look forward to getting that grande caramel macchiato.
There you go.
It's just good.
Yeah.
So
I don't blame
But
you.
I'm embarrassed. I shouldn't be paying $5 for a cup of coffee when I can make it for 38 cents at home.
Sure.
It's an embarrassment of wasting money. So
yeah, it has nothing to do with really Starbucks. Starbucks is fine.
No, it has to do with being
the idea of
being yuppie, indulging myself with some rich, fancy mermaid coffee when I can make a pot of Folgers at home.
Understood.
Good to the last drop. Except that's Maxwell House.
That's what they tell me.
Nice.
Okay, my next one is staying up way later than I should, scrolling social media.
Okay.
Specifically TikTok.
Okay.
It's not really embarrassing for me.
No, because many people do it.
Yeah, but it's just...
You kind of wish you didn't?
Well, I know I shouldn't.
Okay.
And
so you're embarrassed almost because of the lack of discipline.
The lack of willpower to put my phone down on the nightstand at a reasonable time. Not that I'm going to bed at 12:30, 1 o'clock. But
what a majority, though, that you're in. Because we all stay up later now that we have devices.
Yes, the amount of time that I spend from the time I actually get in bed when I could go to sleep to the time I actually fall asleep, too long.
4.5 hours a night.
Gotta be. No.
Well, I know sometimes because you'll surprise me. I'll wake up in the morning
and have
a text that you sent me that was like 12:42 or something, and I'm like, "Wow, that's late." Yeah, not usually that late.
I was gonna say, I don't know if it's that late,
but we'll say goodnight and kiss.
Hours. Whoa.
No, but we'll say goodnight at like 9:30.
Yeah,
like if we're playing online or
all
something.
Right, man.
See ya. Go to bed.
Yep.
All right. And then I'll get something
Not
at 11:40 or 12 o'clock from you, and I'm just like, wow. But I know you like. But that's also stress relief.
It is. It's decompression.
And you're not a quick fall asleeper.
I'm not. Even when I just try to lay there and I think it would take me longer to fall asleep without that than with it because my mind just never stops racing.
So my last one, Will, just to keep things moving, is actually video games. Did you have that one?
Yeah.
Okay, so we share that. I feel like
mine's specific video games, but yes.
Okay. As a 50-year-old man, I feel like I should have moved beyond video games. Now, I think that because generations before me don't play video games, but they didn't have video games.
Yeah.
So maybe I'm just the first sort of age group
That
to
had them.
become a 50-year-old man that had video games.
Sure.
And
I see a lot of streamers that are 40s, 50s.
Correct.
That
video
play.
games was our thing.
Yep.
Like we came into play when I was 5,
Yep.
Atari 2600
And
when
it
I
just
was
look a
3
lot
or 4
different
years
now.
old.
But yeah.
Correct. Unrealistic.
Yep.
I still get excited when I see a good video game.
Sure.
And I still love, although I don't have much time, I have like 4 or 5 on the shelf I haven't even started.
Mm-hmm.
And when we play Fortnite together,
Mm-hmm.
I love it.
Yep.
I look forward to
It's
it.
fun.
It is fun. And I sometimes go, how old am I?
Yeah.
But that's it. So I'm that's it.
That's
1,
all.
2, 3. Video games.
I had on here Harry Potter, but that's not. I'm not embarrassed about that. There are a lot of Harry Potter fans.
Okay.
And so I'm not. I wrote that down just kind of as a
A
backup.
third, yeah.
But mine was video games.
Do you feel like Harry Potter as opposed to like do you feel like it's because it is sort of this fantasy? Do you see it as a kid's thing?
No, I don't know.
Okay.
People love Twilight and Hunger Games that are all
I would be
age
more
groups,
embarrassed
pirates.
about Twilight.
Sure, same.
Less embarrassed or equally embarrassed with I think Hunger Games is strong.
Yeah, I couldn't really think of
And again, I pushed you on that because you're not embarrassed by much.
eating out more than I should, maybe. I don't know.
That might be I don't think that's kind of in the spirit of being embarrassed as much as you just like to do it.
The video game that I did write down was Pokemon Go, though.
Okay.
That was I'm not embarrassed about it because
Yeah.
I grew up with Pokemon, but
Yeah.
that is just
So for people at home, just a brief, you might be able to explain it better, but essentially you had it on your phone.
Yep.
And it's a GPS related. So when you'd go places, there'd
Just
be a
go.
virtual Pokemon
Yep.
character and you'd have to go to that place and catch him.
Yeah, or just wherever it spawned, like if I was near my house.
Yeah.
So
When I was teaching at the University of Maryland a couple years back doing summer band camps, the instructors that were college students
Mhm.
were like, oh, I got to go there's a Pikachu right out here. Or
Yeah.
there's I don't even know the
yeah,
names
that's
because
fine.
I wasn't into Pokemon, but
But
they're
that's
like,
that's
it's right over by the stadium. And
like,
they would,
like you grew up with Atari. I grew up with Pokemon. Like
Right.
that was my wheelhouse
Yeah.
when I was 6,
Very good.
7, 8, 9 years old.
I like it. All right. Segment 3
No, that was
is done.
yeah. There it is.
Segment 4.
I don't need my phone anymore. We're done
Nope.
with this.
Man on the Street.
Man on the street.
For Man on the Street interview, we interviewed our best buddy, Senor Fernando Giraldo.
Señorita Giraldo.
And he actually said when I asked him these questions, "Oh, I guess this means I have to watch this week." So,
Tough luck, kid.
geez, sorry we had to ruin your day by making you watch, but hopefully Senor Fernando Giraldo will enjoy this. So here we go, Will.
This is gonna put me in a tough spot already.
I know because he's your buddy,
Yep.
and you want to root for
My
him.
good buddy. Old
Here we
pal.
go. Let's begin the begin.
Do I have a keep track of my score. On
Yeah,
something?
sure. I didn't get the whiteboard out, but
We
you
don't
can
need that.
use.
We don't need. Oh, right here.
I have an index card and a box marked index card.
No, we're good. I'll use my
Okay,
piece of paper
here we
right
go. Okay, and here we go with our Man on the Street interview. I'm going to ask you 10 basic knowledge questions. I won't tell you if you got them right or wrong. And here we go. So question 1, So for those of you that are at home, we're going to just be asking these questions, and I hope this works. I tested all these, and for some reason this one got cut off. Maybe let me see. Maybe it didn't. Maybe it just. Question 1: okay. What is the yellow part of an egg called? What is the yellow part of an egg called? He eats eggs
all the time.
Poppy, he does.
He knows this one.
Okay.
Well, it's 100%. I'm locking
100%. Yes.
Egg yolk.
For those of you that couldn't hear, he said egg yolk.
Egg yolk.
Egg
That's
yolk.
1 for 1.
Yolk.
1 for 1.
All right. Good job, Poppy.
He's a pretty smart guy.
He is a smart guy.
So he's gonna know this.
I'm just gonna say this.
Oh gosh. Don't make me say
there are a few things in here that, as we always say, where he sounds so Spanish, as we jokingly say. But thankfully, he was very funny, all of his answers. Here we go. Number 2. I'm going to turn my volume up. Hopefully everybody can hear it.
Here we go. Number 2.
Question 2. How many legs do insects have? How many legs do insects have?
He knows.
Okay.
This is something he knows.
Correct answer is 6.
Yes.
By the way, Will's goal is to get at least 50% of these correct in order to win the game.
6 out of 10. We bumped it up.
Setting a high standard.
We bumped it up. 6 out of 10.
Here we go.
To get a win.
How many legs does an insect have?
6 out of 10.
And he knows it.
He does.
Okay.
8.
Oh, you son of a...
Oh, he was off by a pair.
Dang.
All right, question 3.
Question 3. Second guess.
What is a baby kangaroo called?
Oh, shoot.
What is a baby kangaroo? The answer we're looking for is a Joey.
And
Will he know?
He watches nature shows, though.
Does he?
I know that.
I didn't know that about him.
I'm going to say he knows it.
I just knew about his family's coffee plantation. I
Stop.
did not. Okay.
I'm going to say he knows it. And if I get this one wrong, then I'm going to start giving him wrong answers.
All right. And the question was, baby kangaroo
Joey.
Dang
it.
A cub.
A cub.
To be fair, that's not like it. Not
It's
everybody
not terrible.
knows that.
No, it's
But-
terrible.
Dang. Oh gosh. Pop.
Yep, a Joey.
One
All
for
right.
3.
1 for 3.
All right,
here we go.
Come on, Pop.
Question 4. Question 4. What is the closest planet to the sun? The closest planet to the sun. By the way, while Will's stewing, I'll slide out a pic for a second. Poppy is from Colombia, South America. Went to visit his family one day or one year and brought me this burro because we always tease him about his family owning a coffee plantation.
He knows which planet is closest to the sun.
We all have such a great sense of humor. Okay.
Mercury is
the correct answer.
the correct answer, and he knows it's Mercury. He does.
Okay.
Please.
Here's
Poppy.
the answer.
I feel terrible saying no. So
Okay. All right.
Mercury.
Mercury.
Okay. That was
the first
you
time.
know what he meant.
That was
Dag nabbit.
That was the first time I almost smiled when I was giving him the quiz. Mercury.
Yeah.
All right.
Here we go.
All right. Here we go. By the way,
2 for 4 right now.
if anybody, no, never mind. I was going to make a joke that was too far. I'm just going to keep going. Question 5. In which country can you find the Eiffel Tower?
Oh, yes. He definitely knows that.
Okay. The only thing I was wondering was when I gave it was, would he say city, Paris versus France?
Oh.
Because it's country.
No, he's not going to.
Okay. I did say country,
He,
and we'll
he
see.
watches the tour all the time.
Oh, you're right. He is in the Tour de France.
He's a cyclist.
All right. Here we go.
France.
Yes. Come on.
France. He got that one right.
Here we go,
off.
Pop. We're back on track, Poppy.
All right.
Come on.
Here we go. Number 6. Question 6. How many days are there in 1 year?
Oh, yeah, he knows that. I'm going to write it down right away.
Okay. By the way, I didn't pick these for Poppy. I just picked them. They were random off the internet.
General knowledge question.
So there's one coming up that really favors him.
Oh,
so.
good. I like that.
365.
Come on, man.
365. He's on it.
Here we go. Poppy,
All
we're
right.
back in
How many you
business,
got
man.
now?
4.
4
4 for 6
all right.
right now.
All right. You're looking better.
I'm looking good.
Question
I'm
7.
feeling good.
Question 7. How many players are on a soccer team?
On a soccer team or on the field, on the pitch at one time?
So the answer to the question is 11. So it's on the field.
But you said on a soccer team.
Understood. That was the way the question was worded. I don't want to give you any hints. If you said how many are on a basketball team, I feel like generally people would say 5.
15.
Right.
That's how many are on a team.
But nobody knows that unless you're into the sport. Like if you think how many are on
Okay.
a football team. But
he's into the sport, though.
he is into the sport. So that could throw a little loop, but I don't want to tell you.
That's not a fair question.
That's the way it was worded. I didn't cater it to him, or you said no helping.
No, you're right.
So
You're right.
question 7. How many players are on a soccer team?
I'm going to say he knows it's 11 on the pitch at one time.
I like the way you call the field the pitch.
But
'cause
is
it's
he-
the technical term?
He's going to say, I'll say 11. I'll say yeah. He's going to say yes.
Okay. You're going to be pleased.
11 on the field.
11 on the field.
On the field.
He clarified.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good. Good job, Pop. Way to come through, Poppy.
Yep.
Come on, man.
How many are on a complete soccer team?
Don't know.
It could be anything, right?
I don't know.
I don't think there's a
That's
standard,
Poppy.
but I could be wrong. I
I'm
can't
not a
right
soccer
now.
coach. I'm a basketball coach.
We're playing this game. How many people on a basketball team? 15?
Generally.
Okay. Yeah. Question 8. Where do polar bears live?
Is the Arctic the answer?
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to say he knows that.
Okay.
Don't.
I'm not saying
Don't.
anything.
You're.
I didn't say anything. I said
Play
okay.
the answer.
You're saying yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Why are you getting mad at me?
Because he's not going to say Arctic.
Okay. No, he'll say Arctic. All right, here we go.
Come on, Pop.
Poppy for the win.
South Pole.
The South Pole. Will.
Come on, Pop.
At the South Pole.
Oh, I'm stuck at 5, of course.
That's where he was Spanish.
Am
right
I?
there,
Am
the
I
South
two?
Pole.
Do I have 2 left?
We have 9 and 10.
Okay, all right.
You got to get one.
I got to get one here.
You're at 5?
I'm at 5.
Okay.
I need one.
So by my rules, you've won. But
No.
by your rules, you
Yeah,
need one more.
I do
Or are we
one
changing it to 6?
Yeah, that's
Okay.
I want to.
All
I
right.
want to be above.
Question 9. Which is faster, light or sound?
He has a 50-50 shot here.
He does.
Even if he doesn't know it.
He does.
I'm gonna say he gets it.
He noodles it through,
So to speak.
so to speak. All right, here we go. Question 9. For the possible win,
I think about this one.
No, don't.
Light.
there it is. There's your number 6.
There we go, Pop.
And icing on the cake, the final question.
One of my favorite milkshakes, by the way, from basketball.
That's a good point. Here we go.
I just hit my mic, by the way. I'm sorry, everybody.
All right, here we go. Question 10. How many letters are there in the English alphabet?
Oh, pressure's off. I don't even care anymore. But he's gonna say 26.
Okay, here's his answer.
I believe it's 26.
Why'd he laugh?
Because he
was
wasn't
nervous?
sure, yeah.
He got it. That's
He
7,
got it
buddy.
right. So there you go.
Come on
So
now.
I think Poppy got, if I look back at my notes,
7
he
correct.
got 1,
For
2,
me, I mean.
3 incorrect. He got 7 correct, and 3 he missed, which was amazing. And the ones he missed were not even, the Joey was
No,
kind of
Joey's
tough.
Joey's tough.
The Arctic, I feel like, yeah. I didn't, I mean, there is nothing on Antarctica, right? You know, the South Pole. There's nothing down there. So, no polar bears on the South Pole.
Penguins.
Penguins. Emperor penguins?
Sure.
Okay. Well, that's it.
That's
well,
all.
here's our 1, 2, 3.
1, 2, 3.
We're done.
That's it.
That was our last segment after segment 3. I have a joke for you, Will.
Okay, I
And
want to hear it.
I think this is a good one. It's one of my favorites ever since
You
I was a
think
kid.
all of them are good ones?
That's because I love to laugh.
Let's hit me with it.
Well, there was this preacher,
Uh-huh.
and he goes to visit one of the elderly women from his congregation.
Okay.
Okay. He sits on her couch, and he notices while they're talking that she has a large bowl of peanuts on the coffee table. So he asks, "You mind if I have a few?" She says, "No, not at all," the woman replied.
Okay.
So as they're chatting for the next hour or so, and the preacher, he's just eating some of the peanuts, he realizes when he stands to leave that instead of eating just a few, he emptied most of the bowl.
Oh.
He felt bad. He
Kinda
said,
rude.
"I am terribly sorry for eating all your peanuts. I really just meant to eat a few." The woman replied, "Oh, that's all right. Ever since I lost my teeth, all I can do is suck the chocolate off of them."
That's so gross.
One of my favorite jokes of all time. And I believe my pastor,
That
Pastor Bobby, might have
is
told me that joke.
So gross.
It is so funny,
That's
though.
That
So
is good.
funny.
That's a good one. I would give you that one.
Okay,
I'll give you that
thank you. It's
was good.
not too long,
No.
but it's a funny concept.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, they used to be peanut M&Ms or something. So
8.5 out of 10.
on that joke,
That's a pretty strong joke.
that's really
That
good.
is good.
Better than I did on 20 questions. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, we are going to duck out and greet our wonderful parents here in a little while. So if you don't mind, spread the word. Go back and please ring the bell on YouTube. Probably most of you have already done that. What we really need you to do is Shanghai some other people into ringing the bell.
That'd be cool.
You know where Shanghai comes from? That term comes from? Maybe on another podcast. I learned that not years ago.
I'm not playing your silly little word.
It's
Come
really
on,
not a
man.
word game, but anyway. If you know where Shanghai came from, leave it in the comments when you Shanghai something.
Don't cheat and look it up, though.
Yeah, don't cheat and look it up. Anyway, thank you so much for listening. Thank you for watching. Thank you,
You know
for
who
spreading
cheats?
the word.
Sometimes Aunt Mary. You know who cheats?
No, who cheats?
Sometimes Aunt Mary. Who cheats is... I have a family member that cheats sometimes.
Really? Does
Yeah.
Aunt Mary know who they are?
She might.
Huh, that's interesting.
Just kidding.
Well, Aunt Mary would have known Joey.
Yeah.
Yeah. Antarctic.
Yeah.
And
Anything else that you ask?
that's right.
Yeah.
I'm putting her on speed dial
You
anytime
should.
I have a
You
question.
should.
I'm Mary. How do I change the brake pads on the 2015 GMC? All right. Anyway, we love you all. Thank you so much for watching, and we will see you next week.
Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.